I've got a job interview this morning. I'm not so much nervous as I am anxious. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know really who I'm meeting. And I don't even really know what this place looks like. But I am hoping that when I get there, I am dressed decently enough that, I'll get the job. It's going to be a little different than what I've been doing for my other job. Before, I was working full-time as a truck driver and doing college full-time. That wasn't working out very well. I had no time for doing things I enjoyed like this. I had no time for my girlfriend. I had no time for much of anything in my life because as soon as I got off work, I was back home doing homework. That's not a great way to live. You can do the hustle, you can do the grind, but at this point, there's no use in it because I can't do anything. You can hustle all you want and you can grind until there's nothing left in the soles of your shoes, but if you have no time to do anything with what you've gained in life, then it's kind of all for waste. I'm doing things a little differently this time. I'm going to try and see if I can get a part-time job paying roughly the same amount I was making before. So it would be a pay cut, but this would give me more time for myself, for my life, and especially for school, because right now school is my main focus. With my previous job, I was more concerned about making big paychecks than I was getting good grades in my schoolwork. And the classes I'm taking right now are actually very difficult. I'm taking the speech class, an economics class, and the statistics class is just killing me right now. I really need to focus in on those classes more than I focus in on a paycheck. I'm living with my family right now, so I don't really need to worry about all that up front. I do need a job though, so I can pay for things like insurance on my car, food, rent, things like that. I do need a job for that, but I don't need to be working full-time and then make it so that my life is revolving around that job. My life revolves around this schoolwork. It doesn't revolve around the work, doesn't revolve around YouTube, doesn't revolve around my girlfriend. It revolves around schoolwork. As soon as I can get that done and out of the way, I am going to be much better off. So I just got back from my interview for the Crow Valley Golf Course. I was applying to be a golf course grounds crew member, or whatever they call you. Saw this job on Indeed.com, which is like the main way people find jobs around here is online through this stuff. It looked pretty decent, so I went ahead and applied to it. They hadn't even communicated with me after I applied for 2 weeks. And then they sent me an email earlier this week saying on Wednesday the 27th at 10 a.m. we're having a round of interviews. Why don't you come in for that? And I said, okay. So that's what I was doing this morning. I got dressed up and I went off to my interview. And it went a little different than the way I thought it was going to. So the address wasn't quite what I was expecting it to be, but nonetheless I still got there. I got there also 10 minutes early, so I thought I was doing pretty good. I know some people, when it comes to anything in life, if you're 10 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. I don't follow that personally. If you show up and it says 10 o'clock and it's 10 o'clock, you showed up on time. That's what it said, 10 o'clock, I'm here at 10 o'clock. But I thought it'd be good nonetheless to be there at 10 a.m. So I got there at 9:50 a.m. I didn't know what door to go into when I got there because there was 4 different doors. Eventually, I just ended up knocking on one because one of them I opened and unlocked just led into someone's office. It was behind their desk and I felt really weird, so I just gently closed it. Went to another door and knocked on it. Some dude answered it and I was like, hey, I'm here for a 10 a.m. interview. He looked kind of confused and was like, are you meeting with so-and-so? I'm like, yeah. So he let me on in. Then I went into the break room and sat down for a good 15 minutes because they were out trimming trees. They weren't even ready for me to do the interview. They come in, hand me a piece of paper to fill out, put my name, some references, and jobs I've had, and I finally get to go in the interview after being there for 20 minutes. And in the interview, the guy sits down and is expecting a guy in a suit, but it was just one of the maintenance guys. He just had all the stuff on, winter coat and a beanie that was all misshapen with wood and tree limbs sticking out of it. And sitting down, I was like, all right, well, what job do you want? I said, well, I just applied to be a groundsman. I'm not expecting anything great. This is just what I saw online. Oh, so you applied through the Indeed thing, right? Yeah. After talking to him for a good 5 or 10 minutes, he tells me, you're the only one that showed up. I had 20 people scheduled besides you to be here at 10 a.m. to go through a round of interviews. 12 of them replied, including you, saying they'll be here, and you're the only one to have showed up. So I think I got that ball in my court pretty good. I showed up to interview, the only one to showed up. So I pretty much got the job because I showed up. I matched with the job pretty well. Everything they're doing I know how to do, and I'm pretty versatile, I guess, at the job. So he asked me if I wanted to be full-time or part-time. I told him that I'm looking more to be part-time. I did full-time before with my previous job, and I'm doing college full-time, so I want to try and do part-time for work because I need to focus more on school. He looked a little disappointed about that, but then when I told him that I can work full-time in the summer, about mid-May is around the time all my classes are done for the summer, he got really excited. Then he started asking me beyond the schedule was, pay. He said, this is $1 million question, but how much are you looking at getting paid? I said, well, on your Indeed.com post, it says $9 to $12 an hour. I was making $11 before. If you can match that, fantastic. If you can't, it is what it is. We'll work through it. He told me that for the first 30 days, they usually do $9 an hour, and then after you talk to them for a bit after the first 30 days, they'll consider bumping you up by $10 an hour, and then, it's so much and so on after that. But it really depends on your performance and how well you can actually do the job. I think I could handle that just well. I'm fairly decent at doing remedial tasks that are labor inclusive, whatever, laboring tasks. But then the sad part of this whole interview happened where he said, you probably won't start until May. I thought I would start like next Monday. But he's like, oh no, at the earliest it would be mid-March, but most likely it'll be about May, maybe a little later. That is a huge time gap between now and then. I know just like 2 or 3 months doesn't seem that big, but my last paycheck is coming in through my job either this week or next week, and then that's it. I don't have any other like disposable income that's coming in. I don't have a stream of money coming in I can afford to do things with. I don't know if I'll be able to really financially do that. 2 to 3 months of just not working, and I can't qualify for unemployment because the Salvation Army is a non-for-profit, which means that if I leave the work or I get fired or whatever, I can't get unemployment. And then because I had to resign, I couldn't actually get fired. That also disqualifies me for unemployment. So I'm kind of out of luck on that front. I'm just looking for a job that I can kind of start sooner than others. That would be a good long-term solution for a lot of things. This job seems like that. The guy said, no, you know what, I totally understand that, we're moving it out pretty far for you to start. But if you feel like you need to start sooner, let us know and we'll try and work out as much as we can. So I told them, I got an interview with Menards tomorrow, Thursday the 28th at 1 p.m. I don't know what they're going to say. I don't even know if I'm going to take the job. And he said, well, you know what? If they're going to pay you more or if they're going to have you start sooner, email me, text me, call me, just reach out to me, and we'll try and make it right. And we'll see if we can beat them or match them at whatever, because you seem like you're going to be really good at this job. All in all, the interview went real well. It was nice. I really liked talking to the guy, and they're just super, they're just super nice. And really chill and knew what was going on and talked about detailed work and taking pride in your work. And I relate to that. I really like that. So I want to go with this if I can, but it depends on what Menards says tomorrow. That's the dream. Is it going to happen? Probably not, but a boy can dream, can't he?